different knowledge are like these precious stones of different colors. So what Vedavyas did was to consolidate them into different sections. So the Vedas became four Vedas, and who knows the name of the all the four Vedas?
Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, and Atharva Veda.
Very good. So these are the four Vedas. And then how many Puranas are there? Primary Puranas. This Srimad Bhagavatam that we are learning is also a Purana. And so there are 18 Puranas.
Mahabharata.
Yeah. Mahabharata and Ramayana are epics or histories. So it's considered separate from the Puranas, but of course, we could think of it like that also. But it doesn't fall in the 18 Puranas.
Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata, right? Um, in the Bhishma Parva and its conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. So, yes, Bhagavad Gita is like the essence of all the literature, and we can find it in the 700 verses. Yes. Um, but the Vedas, this big book of knowledge, and all the knowledge was just in the form of a single Veda. It's called Veda, meaning literature about God, and uh, Veda Vyas came and divided it into four Vedas that Sri Hariji and Shreyaji just told us about the four Vedas, and he gave these Vedas to his disciples. So Paila Rishi got Rig Veda, Vaishampayana Rishi got Yajur Veda, Jaimini Rishi got Sama Veda, and Sumantu Rishi got Atharva Veda. So earlier in those days, it was not by writing down in a book and printing it that the knowledge was preserved. So knowledge was preserved by propagation. So propagation from one guru to a disciple. And in those days, everybody had great memory. If they heard it once, they could remember for the whole lifetime. So in that lifetime, they would teach their disciple, and so uh, it got propagated from one generation to the other. Nowadays, we can't do that. We even if we learn a verse, if we don't keep practicing, we forget it. So we need a book or somewhere where it's printed. So how to propagate knowledge is by um, how to preserve knowledge is by propagation in those days. And we see that Vyasadeva actually divide the knowledge into four Vedas and the 18 Puranas, and then each part of the Veda is again subdivided. And so just like a person who wants to become a doctor, initially they will just learn about the whole human body, and then they'll learn only about the eye because they want to become a specialist. So similarly, yeah, these Vedas are very deep, and so there was each part was given to each person to focus on that. So that was followed by Veda Vyas. And then these there are 18 Puranas we mentioned, and we know in these Puranas, especially Bhagavata Purana or Srimad Bhagavatam that we are learning today, there are 10 topics, right? Atra Sargo Visargascha Sthanam Poshanam Utaya Manvantara Ishanukata Nirodha Mukti Ranashraya. So these are the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is from a verse on this in the second canto 10th chapter. First verse is this that tells us what are the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's what we go through every before every class also. Like, what is the topic of this section or canto? And we are in the 12th canto, which is actually telling us about uh, Nirodha or annihilation. It's also called going back home. And in this 12th canto, 7th chapter, each of these different topics are almost the same meaning but given different names. So sarga is called sarga, visarga is visarga, sthanam is called vritti, poshanam is called raksha, because poshanam is protecting, and raksha is also the same name, same meaning, right? So protection by sustenance. So the same verse that was mentioned in the second canto is mentioned with different words in this 12th canto, 7th chapter. Um, so Utaya, or inclination to do things, um, and then Manvantara, the change of Manus, are called Antarani, or reign of Manus, in this chapter. Ishanukata is the Vamsha Anucharitam. This is the same meaning. It means learning the science of God, narration of the great kings and dynasties. And Nirodha is going back home, or samstha, or annihilation. Mukti is liberation, is also called Hetu. Ashraya or Apashraya is the same, supreme shelter. So this is how we can learn, how by linking different um, verses and chapters, because we can retain knowledge by linking one thing to the other so that we don't forget. So this is what the 7th chapter is talking about, more about the different Vedic literature. And like we were discussing, there are 18 major Puranas, and this Bhagavata Purana, or Srimad Bhagavatam, is one of the Puranas. And you can see here, out of the 18 Puranas, you can again divide these Puranas into six, that for each mode of nature. So actually, Bhagavatam is above the modes of nature, but you can still consider it as a Purana in the mode of goodness. So Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, right? Goodness, passion, and ignorance. So here you can see Bhagavata Purana, Vishnu Purana, Padma Purana, Narada Purana, Garuda Purana, and Varaha Purana are in the mode of goodness. Vamana Purana, Markandeya Purana, Brahma Purana, Bhavishya Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, and Brahmanda Purana, they are in the mode of passion. We know Lord Brahma is the expansion of the Lord in the mode of passion, because he has to do creation, and that requires a lot of passion. So similarly, we see that Brahma Purana is a Rajasic Purana. And then the Tamasic Puranas are Matsya Purana, Kurma Purana, Linga Purana, Skanda Purana, Agni Purana, and Shiva Purana. And we know Lord Shiva is the Lord of the mode of ignorance, and so his Purana is listed as the Tamasic Purana. So we see that even the Puranas can be divided with the modes of that it entails. Okay, so that concludes chapter 7, and then we come to this great personality called Markandeya Rishi. Has anybody heard about Markandeya Rishi? So Markandeya Rishi is the one who saw Krishna in a banyan leaf, and we are going to discuss how that pastime happened, where Krishna is sucking the toe of his own feet. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who's a great acharya in our disciplic succession, says Krishna was very curious to understand why are all my devotees so fond of my feet? Let me find out. So he's sucking his own feet as a baby, because babies do that, right? Um, they're able to, but as we grow bigger, we can't, our toes cannot reach our mouth anymore, right? So Krishna took this form, and this pastime is also showing who is the Samam Bonam, who's the cause of all causes, and it's Krishna. So let's dive into this pastime of Markandeya Rishi. So Markandeya Rishi is a great Rishi. His father's name is Mrikandu, and he was so austere. We know many rishis and saints who have fallen down. So Markandeya Rishi never fell down because he was so s- focused on his practice. So he did um, v- great austerities for many manvantaras. So actually, 6 manvantaras he was doing very great penance. So each manvantara we know his 71 Divya Yugas of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So like that 71 times is one manvantara. So he did it for 6 manvantras. In the 7 manvantara, while he was doing the same, Indra usually gets very insecure, who is the head of the demigods, and he always feels, oh, somebody is going to come and take my position, and he wants to stop them from becoming eligible to do that. So he sent these great apsaras who are very beautiful women, and then he sent the Cupid or Kamadev, who makes people want to be with the opposite gender. So for man, it's a woman. For a woman, it's a man. And this, you have seen arrows. For Valentine's Day, they try to shoot this arrow, and they think, oh, now I want to, they in material world we say we fall in love with a woman, or woman falls in love with a man, but actual the real love is only between the jiva and the Lord. And actually, the material love is what causes us, if it's not aligned with Krishna, it causes us to fall down. So um, here, Markandeya Rishi was getting all these disturbances by these apsaras, um, and Cupid trying to make him interested in the women, and wanted him to stop his spiritual practices, but he never fell down from that, because he was such a great rishi. So seeing this, how he was not uh, perturbed or influenced by these great apsaras who are so beautiful, and even Cupid with his arrows couldn't do anything. So then NaraNarayana Rishi. So NaraNarayana Rishi is another form of the Supreme Lord. So one is dark and one is light. And it's actually Arjuna and Krishna are another form of NaraNarayana Rishi. So they came, and as soon as they came, he fell on their lotus feet, and he praised the Supreme Lord, and so they were very pleased with Markandeya Rishi. They asked, "What benediction would you like, O Markandeya Rishi?" So this is where we see that Markandeya Rishi, instead of asking for pure devotional service or serving the Vaishnavas, he was very curious to know what is the power of the Lord's illusory energy or material energy that creates this whole universe, this material universe. He wanted to see the power of that energy of the Lord. So he didn't want to enjoy any. We saw that he didn't want Nadanam, Najanam, the Sundarim. He didn't want the money or opposite gender or have a big family or any of that. But all he wanted to see was what is the power of this energy of the Lord that makes us think that we can enjoy away from the Lord. So he wanted to understand this because he was curious about that. Now, the great Acharya says that, we should be curious about Krishna, but if we want to be curious about the material energy, which is also Krishna's energy, but if we are curious about that, that actually is not going to give us the greatest benefit, because it's like saying I want to see the menu but I don't want to eat anything, right? So I'm curious to know what all are there in the menu, right? So this is what Markandeya Rishi wanted to understand. What is this power of the Lord's material energy? So NaraNarayana Rishi, of course, the Lord is always wanting to please his devotee. So they said, definitely, yeah, we'll give you the opportunity to understand what is the material energy of the Lord. So Markandeya Rishi continued with his practice, and one day, big winds started to blow, just like here in Tennessee. Yesterday, there was a huge rain and flash floods. So just before we were discussing about this, it was like it is happening here, and this big wind came, and what happened was, there was a big flood that happened, and everything started to get covered by the water, the earthly planets, the heavenly planets, and Markandeya Rishi was just floating in that water of devastation, um, and and there were big timingalas and sharks that were coming to eat him, but he was hungry and thirsty, because he's just in the salt water of annihilation, and this is huge storms and whirlpools were happening, and this continued for millions of years. And he was very frustrated and tired and thirsty, and he didn't know what to do, but he himself had asked for understanding the power of the Lord's material energy or illusory energy. And then, while he was floating in the water, as you can see in the picture, he sees there's a little island with a banyan tree. And on that banyan tree, there are many leaves and branches. And on one of the leaves, there was this little boy Krishna with who is sucking his foot, his toe, and and he was so attracted to the Lord. He just wanted to come and interact with the Lord, because for many years he was just by himself, just floating in the water. So when he saw the Lord, he wanted to just come and be with the Lord. And then when the Lord inhaled, the whole ocean and everything entered into the belly of the Lord, and he also went in. And then when he exhaled, everything came out again. And this happened for like 7 times, the Acharya says. So this is similar to what we have learned, that everything gets destroyed and get created again. But what we need to do is to develop love for the Lord. So here's the explanation of this verse. Um, the infant's dark blue complexion was the color of flawless emeralds. His lotus face shone with a wealth of beauty, and his throat bore marks like the lines on a conch shell. He had a broad chest, a finely shaped nose, beautiful eyebrows, and lovely eyes that resembled pomegranate flowers, and that had inner folds like a conch shell spiral. The corner of his eyes were reddish, like the whorl of a lotus, and the effulgence of his coral-like lips slightly reddened the nectarian, enchanting smile of his face. As he breathed, his splendid hair trembled, and his deep navel became distorted by moving folds of skin on his abdomen, which resembled a banyan leaf. The exalted Brahmana watched with amazement. Who's the exalted Brahmana here?
Markandeya Rishi.
Yeah, very good, very good. You're all following so well. The exalted Brahmana watched with amazement as the infant took hold of one of his lotus feet with his graceful fingers, placed a toe within his mouth, and began to suck. So in the purport it said the young child was the supreme personality of Godhead according to Sri La Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Lord Krishna wondered, so many devotees are hankering for the nectar of my lotus feet. Therefore, let me personally experience that nectar. Thus the Lord, playing like an ordinary baby, began to suck his toes. So such a beautiful sight of the Lord sucking his old toes as a little baby on a banyan leaf. So that concludes chapter 9. We go into chapter 10 when Markandeya Rishi is understood seeing the Lord, and he's fully satisfied understanding the energy of the Lord. And then you can see while he's meditating, Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi or Uma Devi, they wanted to have association with Markandeya Rishi, so they're coming because the great personality Vaishnavanam Yada Shambhu or Shiva wants is really likes devotees of Krishna. So he's coming and just wanting to talk to Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi, as soon as he sees Lord Shiva, he prays, and he's very happy to see Lord Shiva, and he praises, and Lord Shiva praises Brahmanas such as Markandeya Rishi, saying, "You can ask for any benediction. Uh, because you're saintly, you're peaceful, you're free of material attachment, you're compassionate, you're purely devoted to the Lord, you're devoid of hatred and endowed with equal vision." So he's asking Markandeya Rishi to ask for benediction. And this time, Markandeya Rishi asked the right benediction or blessing. And he says, um, so he first says that only he's very happy to just see Lord Shiva, and then when he asks for the benediction, I asked to have unfailing devotion for Supreme Personality of Godhead and his dedicated devotees, especially you. So we can see the mood of Markandeya Rishi at this point. You know, he understands the best thing that anybody can have is love for God, and he's asking for that benediction. Thus worshipped and glorified by the sage, Lord Shiva, encouraged by his consort, replied to him and gave him that blessing. And this concludes chapter 10 and today's class, actually. And then we'll go into the last three chapters in our last Srimad Bhagavatam discussion next class, which would be in the new year. Yes. So if there are no questions, we can go to the Kahoot quiz. Are you all ready to play? Okay, the game pin for today is.
Prabhuji, will you wait?
Yes, definitely. 2671760. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Okay, we have four devotees who have joined. I think Shreya ji and Sri Hari ji needs a few minutes, so let's give them some time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, okay, it looks like we have everybody who joined. We have Narahari, who I think is Sri Hari Ji.
Yeah.
We have Narasimha Ji. And then we have Shreya Ji, who is Mother Parvati, who is the goddess of this whole world, this earth. Yes. So now we can start. Can we? Okay. Okay, Puranas, Markandeya Rishi, prayers to NaraNarayana, IllusoryPotency, Shiva and Parvati, glorify Markandeya. Those are the topics for today. How was Suta Goswami able to study and appreciate Bhagavatam and narrate to sages of Naimisharanya? Taking memory medicine, practicing public speaking, meditating on lotus feet of Krishna, all of the above. So actually, it is meditating on lotus feet of Krishna. So how important it is to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, and then everything else will follow. You don't have to take medicine, or maybe you need to, but all that Krishna will arrange. So I tricked you with all of the above. It is not. It is actually just surrendering to the lotus feet of Krishna. Okay. Second question. What are the constituent sounds of Omkara? A, U, Ma, all of the above. Yes, this time all of the above is the right answer. Veda Vyas divided the Vedas into how many? 4, 5, 6, or 7? Yes, the right answer is 4 Vedas. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. Okay. Who did Vyasadeva propagate Rig Veda to? Vaishampayana Rishi, Paila Rishi, Jaimini Rishi, or Sumantu Rishi? It's a tough one, but this is how we learn. Yes, Paila Rishi is the right answer. Okay. How are the Vedas preserved? Writing in a book, propagating to a disciple, saving it on the cloud, saving it on a hard disk. Yes. Preservation by propagation. Very good. Out of the 10 topics covered in Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the first? Sarga, creation; Visarga, secondary creation; Sthanam, planetary position; Poshanam, protection. Yes. Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Poshanam, that's the order. Visarga is the one. True or false? All 18 Puranas are in Sattva Guna or mode of goodness. False. Very good. We saw 666, right? 6 are in goodness, 6 in passion, 6 in ignorance. Okay, Markandeya Rishi was affected by Indra's plans and gave up his spiritual practices. True or false? False. Very good. That's why NaraNarayana Rishis came and they were very happy with Markandeya Rishi. Hey, Parvati is on fire. Is that Shreya ji? Wow. Is it your birthday also? Why is there candles and birthday?
Because it's about to be New Year, Prabhuji.
Okay, I get it. Very good. Preparing for 2025. Very good. You're doing the right thing to prepare by coming and learning about Krishna and his devotees. Great job. Okay. Second last question. What blessing did Markandeya ask of NaraNarayana Rishi? See the illusionary energy of Lord, render service to the Lord, get a nice home and wife. Yeah, he asked for understanding the or seeing the illusory energy of the Lord. Okay, last question for today. What blessing did Markandeya ask of Lord Shiva and Uma or Parvati? Understanding the material energy of Lord, become an exalted personality, get unfailing devotion to Krishna, all of the above. So this time to NaraNarayana Rishi, he asked, he wanted to see the material energy or illusionary energy of the Lord, and he had to go through that for millions of years in the ocean. But then when Shiva and Parvati or Uma came, he asked for unfailing devotional service because he understood that the best thing we can ask for is Krishna Prema. Yes, so very good. Let's see who is on the podium. Actually, all of you are winners. This is just for the fun of it. Third place goes to Nitinji. Second place goes to Krishna Devotee or Ayana. And first place goes to Parvati or Shreya ji. Fourth place goes to Meenakshi ji. Fifth place goes to Santosh ji. And all of you are winners because you are all learning about Krishna as you prepare for the new year, as Shreya ji was saying. See, this is something new they've put together. So very good. I'll put a screenshot of this in the WhatsApp group. So I'm so happy that all of you are coming regularly and learning about Krishna. So let's continue that next weekend in the new year. So wish you all a very, very happy new year. Hari bol. Vancha kalpatarupascha kripa sindhubhye evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Dandot pranam. Have an amazing Krishna conscious Sunday. Hari bol.
Wow.
Happy New Year, Prabhuji.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Prabhuji.
Happy New Year. Happy Krishna conscious New Year. Hari bol.